Nice win, Coach. Congratulations. We'll get started with the post-game press conference at this point. Santa Clara, the 9 seed, advances to the West Coast Conference quarterfinals with an 81-64 victory over Pacific. The Broncos will face top seed Gonzaga Saturday at 6 p.m. here at Orleans Arena. We're joined by head coach Kerry Keating, along with Jerry Brown, Jared Brownridge, and Evan Rockmore. Coach, we'd like to start with you, please. Your thoughts on the win?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with our effort. That's a senior-laden team that has tournament experience on a positive note, knowing that they won their conference last year and went to the NCAA tournament. So regardless of the fact that they haven't won as much lately or for the matter this year, we knew that they had the capability to put some stuff together in a postseason situation. So really proud of our guys for imposing their will and coming out and playing super aggressive. I thought we had great carryover from our last game of the season at Pepperdine, where we did a lot of similar things and just being really aggressive and, you know, kind of going for broke a little bit in our effort, and but keeping our wits about us and playing smart basketball, making our free throws, really rebounding, and just having all in all a good team effort that was a lot of fun to coach tonight, and I'm sure a lot of fun to watch for the Bronco fans and fun for our guys. And I thought it all started with our week of practice. I thought we had a tremendous week, carrying over from our positive finish with the road win at Pepperdine, our 4th of the season in the conference. So we know what we're capable of, and we know that we have the ability to put some good things together, and I was happy we were able to do that tonight. And with the new format now, we get a chance to take advantage of the day off tomorrow and get fresh on Saturday for what we know is going to be a battle against a team that's playing not just because of the best team in the conference, but very, very well. So I expect a great game, and I know our guys are looking forward to it, and it'll be here before we know it.
We'll take questions from the media now. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone. We'd like to start with questions for the student athletes first, please. We'll start with Amanda in the front.
Jerry, your coach mentioned it was a fun game for him to coach. How much fun was it for you to play in?
That game was really fun for us. We came out really aggressive. We did just what we practiced and executed our game plan. We know if we execute our game plan, we're going to have a good chance to win.
Jared, you had a pretty good night tonight, especially from behind the arc. What were you seeing out there? How were you able to get those shots?
I was just taking the advantages that I saw, especially my teammates with them driving into the lane and kicking it out. That's the main reason why I got the shots that I did, is just them penetrating and me spacing on the outside of the perimeter. So I just took advantage of where my defense was at, and I found the open spots, and my teammates hit me.
Evan, next game for you guys will be Gonzaga. You nearly beat them at home this season, so what's it going to take this time to be able to overcome that team this year?
3 more seconds of good defense.
Let's hope.
I think if we come out and play hard and play the way we're capable of playing, that we'll give them a run for their money.
I think it's pretty odd that you have a game that was pretty unselfishly played, end up in only 5 assists on 26 baskets, and I, looking at that now, can attribute to the fact that we had 15 offensive rebounds. We had a lot of second chances and second chance looks at some of those threes. It's rare we have 10 threes that come on only 5 assists. A lot of those usually get assisted, and only a couple were pull-ups. And I thought Jerry and Yannick in particular really did a great job from the start, putting some will on the boards and giving us some life. You know, shots weren't falling. Obviously, you want to defend, but anytime you get an offensive rebounds, that's a big boost. So that bodes well for us. I'm excited to see that happen tonight.
More for you, Jared. A win like that tonight, a pretty dominant win. How nice is it to kick off the tournament with a win like that?
It definitely feels great, but you can't settle. Of course, we got to move on to the next game, which is Gonzaga. So we're just going to go back, regroup, figure out what we're going to do for the next game, and just hopefully this time we come out to win.
We can hear you.
We're streaming live on YouTube.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
And they can't hear you.
They can't hear him.
Sign language.
It seemed like from the start, you guys just had a lot of energy, both on the court and also it seemed like your bench was up, vocal. You guys were really into it. How much of your success comes from just that energy kind of built in from the start?
A large part of it, and I think that's a testament to our training staff and our strength and conditioning staff. And these guys know the 2 times out of the 6 years prior when we've been completely healthy, we finished the season in championships. We had every single body available to us. And that is the case now. We're not in perfect health, knock on wood, but we have available bodies right now, which obviously you're seeing happen tonight. Unfortunately for one of their guys, for Harris, was had a season and career ended a little bit short in that last play of the Gonzaga game where he got hurt his shoulder. Portland's got 2 guys out. So, I mean, health at the end of the season is almost just as important as anything else. Not too far behind is how you deal with that by the energy that you have with the guys that are on the bench. I thought our walk-ons did a great job of preparing our team this week, of giving them that type of energy, making them have that energy. At the end of the season, it really is your attitude and effort really can stand up when you have the type of skill and ability that you have to put the ball in the basket and defend. So I think you're right on with that. I mean, I'm glad that it was visible because you really need that. And we'll be a little more hyped up on Saturday with a little more people in the building on a big quarterfinal day. I'm used to those days. I grew up in the Big East of the big Thursday quarterfinal day. It was a great day, and I expect that to be the same with the 8 teams that are left on Saturday. And I think our guys will respond to that by having more people in the building. We've been a good road team. We've won a game. We've now won 2 games in this building already this year. I think our confidence is pretty high, but we're grounded and understand we have a daunting task ahead. That team played 2 great games to finish the season and put it on St. Mary's at St. Mary's, and they obviously wanted to make a statement coming to the tournament. So we'll be ready. It's good to come off of this, and get ourselves in the right frame of mind. So we'll have the same type of energy on Saturday, I'm sure.
For the student athletes too, how much do you guys kind of feel that? And just does that affect you guys when you're out there? I mean, it's loud. It's over there. Guys are up. Does it just rub off on you guys?
That's a big part right there. That's one thing that we talked about before the game, was just making sure that all the guys on the bench are hyped up every time we have a good play, because that's what starts off the game for us, is the energy. And when we have the energy, we feel like we can get up and down, and we just feel a lot more confident within each other. So to start that off in the game is big for us.
That's something that Evan has done good for this team. He's a guy that's been around the program for a while, had a lot of success with the program for a while. So he does a great job of getting us energized and going before the game even starts.
I thought we had great talk at halftime, too. I kind of, as a coach, there's only so much you can do in your 32nd game of the year, and you want the team to be coaching itself, and I think they have full knowledge now. You got a guy like Jared and Jalen as freshman starters for us, really still trying to figure it out, but knowing a lot more now with that type of experience. And you got the 2 most experienced guys on our team right now, Jerry being a 5th-year guy and Evan having played the most minutes in school history. So you have an interesting dichotomy of kids right now that are starting to come together and really communicate at a high level off the court, in the locker room, and it's carrying off into the bench and onto the court. And it was successful for us tonight, and just hope that it is again moving forward.
Any other questions for Santa Clara? Congrats on the win. We'll see you Saturday.
Get some rest, everybody. See you Saturday.
Bottoms of those are so annoying. Yeah. Thank you very much. No. I learned from the best. We're being joined now by the Pacific Tigers, who end their first season back in the West Coast Conference with a 15-15 overall record. We're joined by head coach Ron Verlin, along with Sama Taku and Tony Gill. Coach, we'd like to start with you, please, in an opening statement on tonight's game.
Well, definitely not the way we wanted to end our season this year. We had 7 seniors We're hoping to do a little bit better this year in the WCC, but we know it's a very tough conference, and it was very tough on us this year.
We'll take questions from media members. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll gladly get you a microphone. And we'll start here in the front.
Tony, just after kind of the end of the season, your senior year, what are your thoughts on this season as you look back on your first season in the WCC?
Definitely a bit of a roller coaster. We started off great and kind of hit a little slump when the league came. But overall the season was an amazing experience. Your senior year, a new conference, and had a great bunch of guys to do it, experience it with. Like we had 7 seniors, who came in together, and obviously it didn't, like Coach Berlin said, it didn't end like we had hoped it would, but I'm just thankful to been part of Pacific basketball, and met the guys that I have, and hopefully continue to be good friends for the rest of our lives.
Sama, 7 seniors on this team. It's going to be a very different team next year. In your mind, what do you think the future is for Pacific basketball?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that in the locker room, and it's going upward. They have a good recruiting class coming. I mean, you lose a lot of seniors, but the guys that played with us this year, the freshmen, TJ, Ray, David, they got the experience, so they can pass it on to the other guys, even Gabe as well. So it's really looking good for them next year, and hopefully they're back here next year doing better than we did this year.
Coach, as you look back on this season, what did you learn just in your first WCC season that you think you can apply moving forward?
Well, one, I think the league's a lot better than I thought it was from top to bottom. Very good league. I think the size in the league, the big guys are really big, and which we didn't see that many real big guys in the Big West. So I think that's the biggest thing we learned. And then we learned that the games called or officiated a little bit different than what we played in. And it didn't dictate the outcome of any games, but it's just called a little bit differently. So we're going to have to adjust, and we're going to have to adjust our coaching. But it's a great challenge, and we love being in the league.